If you owned a mobile phone at the turn of the millennium, you likely remember the exact weight and feel of a Nokia in your hand. What began as a local Finnish enterprise scaled rapidly into the telecommunications market, eventually placing a device in the pockets of millions across the globe. By the early 2000s, Nokia had built a monolithic corporate empire with an aerial footprint that reflected its status as the world's leading phone manufacturer. The company grew because it mastered three specific things: simple utility, strict reliability, and hardware so durable it became the industry standard. These devices became integrated into social life. They were the primary tools people used to send their first text messages and capture low-resolution photos of everyday moments. At its peak, Nokia controlled the majority of the telecommunications market, setting the pricing and design trends for the entire industry. This level of control meant that Nokia's own design language defined the market, leaving the company with little reason to look beyond its own hardware-focused success. That position changed in 2007. Steve Jobs introduced a device that discarded the physical buttons and limited web access Nokia had spent decades perfecting. Consumer expectations moved away from simple calling and texting. Users began looking for pocket-sized computers capable of running advanced applications and full-scale internet browsers. The interactive touchscreen quickly became the new baseline, replacing the tactile keypads that had been the hallmark of every Nokia device. The threat was multi-front. As Apple targeted the high-end market, the Android ecosystem expanded rapidly, offering software features across a wide range of hardware. Nokia's leadership observed these touchscreen devices and categorized them as a niche interest rather than a permanent change in how people use technology. The industry transitioned from hardware durability to software ecosystems. Value moved from the assembly line to the code inside the device. Nokia still produced the world's most durable phones, but physical toughness was no longer the primary metric for success. The company was still competing for hardware dominance in a market that had already moved on to software. This disconnect between market reality and corporate strategy led to significant friction within Nokia's leadership and engineering teams. The company suffered from organizational paralysis. Their existing corporate structure created immense friction when the situation called for rapid, agile decision-making. Because Nokia was built to manufacture hardware, it lacked the internal infrastructure to quickly develop a modern operating system that could compete with mobile-first software companies. Decision-making became slow and complex. While smaller, more agile competitors updated their software in weeks, Nokia's internal processes kept them tethered to older, slower development cycles. The massive scale that once protected Nokia now functioned as a weight, making it impossible for the company to pivot before its market share eroded. Within just a few years, Nokia's dominant position in the smartphone market had vanished. This chart shows the rapid collapse. After 2007, Nokia's steady lead drops toward zero as Apple and Android rise to take its place. The resulting loss of market share caused a massive drop in value, and the mobile business eventually changed ownership. The speed of this decline demonstrates how quickly a market lead can vanish when a company stops innovating. Past success is no guarantee of future survival. Even the most recognized brands must adapt to changes in technology to remain relevant. Technological changes move faster than large organizations can react, turning global standards into historical curiosities in the span of a single development cycle. Long-term survival requires a company to constantly adapt to new systems, even when their current business model is still generating a profit.